Hey everybody, so I'm Mr. Hartzler and I'm sitting underneath the back half of my wife's Honda CRV and I'm into the brakes a little bit. So there was some grinding on the driver's side in the back, and you could tell from the outside of the car that the rotor was just a little bit chewed up. So took it all off, and you can tell that the brake pads definitely are shot, and I'm putting new brake pads and rotors on right now. So I thought while I was in here, I'm an engineering teacher, might as well talk to you a little bit about this hydraulic brake system. So let me flip this camera around. All right, so this is our rotor, okay? Rotor. And the brake pads, kind of have them apart here, but they sit in there, okay? So this is our caliper. See that little cylinder inside this one? It's got kind of a shiny rim right there. Okay, well that's the little cylinder, the little piston inside that comes out, pushes against this that's actually attached to it. There's a little clip. I don't know if you can see that back there. And this one here is on the outer side. And then as the back cylinder pushes against this, it then pulls itself away. Let me see if I can kind of set it up on there again. Yeah, one fell out, but it's fine. You get the idea. So there's the one on the back side. Yeah, kind of crooked right now, of course, but it pushes that cylinder, so it slides this piece away, and then the brake pad that would be right there pushes against the rotor on this side, and the two in tandem, or working together, focus for me, there we go, squeezes on this rotor and causes your car to slow down. So that's kind of nice. This had two terribly painful screws. I tried to use an impact screwdriver to knock it out, couldn't, so ended up going in with a punch and pounding these suckers out, literally hitting them with a hammer and a giant hunk of metal until they came out. I'm going to pull this off real quick, and I want to show you what's on the inside. All right, so on the inside of this is actually what would be considered the drum, and these are shoes. These right here, these pieces. So I actually should probably consider, focus again, replacing these soon. So that's a little bit of an edge right there. So these are shoes for the drum, and that is the parking brake system. So that's kind of cute too. Bunch of springs and everything. It looks kind of complicated, but drums are not a terribly complicated situation. They're mostly springs, and there's going to be a cable. It's probably this one right here. I'm not going to sit up farther to get to the back, but I'd almost guarantee it's that one. And it essentially pulls these pieces apart, and they push then on the inside of the drum, and that's what causes the friction to keep you in park, or in your emergency brake park. These have to work without any kind of engine being on, because again, it's the emergency brake. So if your hydraulic brake lines pop, which you can see the flexible part of it coming in here, if they go, then you have to use your emergency brake to stop or to keep you parked, and that's what it is there for. So yeah, there's that. Oh, I'll show you. Oh, okay. So the old brake pad, I'll take you over and I'll show you one of the new ones. That's a cute car. I'm not going to show you my driver or my license plate though, because that sounds shady. All right, so we're over here. Sorry for the mess. There's a bunch of tools out because I keep breaking stuff as I get into other stuff, so you know. All right. So here are the two parts next to each other. I'll put it down here on the concrete. You can maybe see it better. Look at that difference. These were done. So tiny little bit left, but for the most part, it is over. I am going to show you this other piece because it has the screecher, the squealer. Focus for me. There we go. So this metal piece here, see how it dangles out just a little past where the brake pad, the wear part of it actually ends. And that is so it will start squealing. So if you ever hear a car that's braking, you hear it squeal, it's because of that little metal piece. Sometimes it'll squeal and then it'll eventually stop, and that's because you've snapped it off. So it's not attached to there super well. It'll break off, and then you don't have the squealing part. This one is also, I like this because my truck doesn't have it and I've had issues with it. So this actually pops in to that hydraulic cylinder. So when the hydraulic cylinder, you let off the brake, it pulls itself away from the rotor. This little clip ensures that it actually draws itself away from the rotor. My truck doesn't have it. It's literally just flat on the back here, and hopefully it just eases itself off of the rotor. I've had issues where it gets a little bit cruddy in there and it doesn't come back off. So that's kind of a bummer. But anyway, I thought I would show you that, kind of talk a little bit about brakes, and yeah, so new one versus old one right there. I mean, look at that. Massive difference. So hopefully that answers some of your questions. This is the new one on. So I'll actually point to a couple of things there. Okay. So, rotor here. And this chunk right here would be a drum. We've got brake pad. You can kind of see both of them in here. On the left side, there's a brake pad. Right side, there's a brake pad. And your caliper is in, it's kind of tricky to see. It's in this. It's underneath this part. Oh, there. This circle or cylinder right here. That's where the cylinder runs back and forth. I need to tighten these things up. It's still loose, but this whole system moves. So as that piece pushes here, it slides this over. Okay, all right, so let's see. The piston pushes in, pushes the inside pad onto the rotor. Once it makes contact, it keeps pushing, so it does something, right? This outer piece here slides in, and that's what, this piece here draws in, and that's what squeezes the outside part of the rotor. So I know it's kind of complicated. I'm not great at the mechanical side of this, but by golly, I'm trying, and it's saving us a couple $100 by me doing this. And yeah, so hopefully you had fun kind of exploring brakes with me. And this is my third time putting brake pads and rotors onto vehicles. I've done drums and shoes once, and I mean, not counting this time, though they're kind of all concealed, but I didn't actually replace any shoes in this case. So I had fun. And I'll point it out to you real quick. You see how this is a little bit oily? That is this strut leaking. So both of the back struts on this Honda CRV need to be replaced. That's a project for later. It's just a couple of bolts, and it's not too bad. But I do have to lower the control arm here. So that'll be almost an ordeal. But anyway, hopefully this was fun. I enjoyed talking to you about it for 8 minutes or so. So bye, everybody. I'm going to get this fixed and then go have dinner. Bye.